Okay, welcome to the Aromatic Ingredient and Flavors application, Chapter 6. Okay, so this one will be for week 9 and week 10 contents. Okay, so for this chapter, we're going to talk really about some of the impact on the stability of the aroma chemicals and what actually causes it. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the stability of flavors. Okay, when we look at the bread itself, okay, everyone's prefer a freshly baked right out from the oven. Okay, right out from the oven, freshly baked. Okay, what's the reason? The moment when the baker opened the oven, the smell, the aroma, all rushing out to the consumers, the nose. Okay, the aroma, you can smell it. Okay, right in front of your nose. Yeah. So the bread, the aroma, as it store longer, as the bread, okay, right after breaking, what happened? It start to have retrogradation. Okay, so the bread start to hardening. All right, when it hardens as well, and as you store as well, all these aromatic compounds start to evaporate. So at the end, what happened? At the end, the longer you take to consume it, the lesser the volatile compound. So the smell, the aroma getting lesser and lesser and lesser, okay, as you store the bread. So if you compare immediately right in front of you, freshly baked, you eat it, okay, compared to after like 1 day, the aroma is very, very different. That's why a lot of people, right, they prefer to have the bread freshly baked. Yeah, okay. When you look at coffee, same thing. Everyone prefer a fresh cup of coffee compared to the one that kept warm for an hour. Okay, what are the reasons? One of the reasons is because the coffee, the aroma compounds evaporate. Same thing like the bread evaporates, the less of the aromatic compound. That's why if you go to Starbucks, when they start brewing it, you can smell, oh, the smell is so good. Okay, when you drink freshly brewed, oh, very good. After a while, if you put there, after 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, what happens? Especially when it becomes colder and colder, what happens? The aromatic compounds start to lose the kinetic, okay, and they do not actually like release the aromatic as fast as possible, and also the concentration of aromatic compounds getting lesser and lesser. So if you drink a warm coffee compared to the cold one that has been kept for hours, okay, the aromatic the smell is different, okay, lesser, not so enjoyable. Okay, that's why a lot of people, they prefer to brew, they drink it. And sometimes as well, if the longer you keep, for example, some of the coffee, they actually kept in the warmer, okay, you will realize that the taste actually change. All right, it could be due to, during the keeping warm, the heat actually accelerates some of the reactions inside, leading to the molecule reacted to create another type of flavor molecule. Okay, the flavor molecule could be undesirable in this case, okay, because it tastes funny, okay, it tastes weird compared to the freshly brewed coffee. Yeah. So consumers want to buy food that has an optimal taste upon consumption. They want to consume it, but food is changing over time due to chemical and physical effects. Okay, so chemical can be reactivity, physical can be separations. Okay, it can be due to volatility, removed already due to their low boiling points. Okay, and things like that. So the challenge comes from here. For the technology students, your product is meant for long term, long shelf life. Is not directly produced and consumed. Okay, so at the end, what happens? So at the end, alright, so you need to keep as much of the volatile component in there as possible. Okay, I'll get to that later on. Yeah, alright. So for these, like the coffee, freshly brewed coffee and the freshly baked bread, that one you need to consume immediately. Okay, but for culinary students, your product is long shelf life. Okay, which means that you need to have a certain way to protect it or to prevent the chemical and physical effects. Yeah. Let's look at this. So we have learned so far, flavors come from where? If flavors can come directly from raw ingredients, right? Okay, some of the ingredient actually is aromatic, like the garlic. Garlic already got a certain type of flavor molecule, okay, to give you the pungent smell, right or not? Alright, so all the flavor molecules are from ingredients, raw ingredients. And these raw ingredients, they have what we call flavor precursors as well. Flavor precursor may not have the taste or smell at all. Okay, flavor precursor doesn't have. But these flavor precursor, upon reactions, they actually can generate desirable or undesirable the flavor molecule. Yeah. So during cooking process, okay, you will generate new flavors. Okay, from raw ingredients that have these precursors. Okay, upon cooking, you will generate new flavors out. Okay, so the processing can be thermal or non-thermal. Alright, don't forget this. During cooking process, you may generate new flavors, but okay, possible to degrade certain flavor molecule as well. Okay, especially those flavor molecule that is already in the raw materials, you may degrade and end up it doesn't have that strong smell. Okay, that's why some people, right, they rather to cook at very low temperature. Okay, at low temperature to actually retain some of the flavor molecule. And flavor generation also can be generated during storage. Okay, like for example, meat aging or fermentation, like kimchi, okay, can generate. And the flavor can degrade as well during storage, such as the canned food or ready-to-eat food. Alright, so this is actually very applicable to use, yeah, especially during storage. What happened to the canned food and ready-to-eat food? The flavor degradation. Later on, I will be also explaining about packaging material possible to actually react with your food components. Okay, so all this you need to understand. Where are the flavor? Where are they originated? When do they generate the flavor components? Whether it's susceptible to degradations. All this you must know so that you can control the flavor from removing. Okay, the flavor from disappeared from your food product. Okay, so this is very true. Yeah, flavor stability is not only focused on single flavor molecule, but on the whole food products. You're talking about the whole food. All right. Different flavor components and their reactivity with other molecules also essential when it comes to flavor stability. Alright, the reactivities with other molecules. You may not have any reactivity in short terms, but long term possible. Alright, that's why at the end we still need food scientists to actually find out if your product got problem. You need to send some sample to them. They will run all the HPLC or maybe GCMS to actually find out, okay, what is the off flavor that you are getting from your food products. Okay, that's why at the end you will need to send your sample to a food scientist to analyze. Okay, food protein condition and storage condition of the product also matter. Different chemical changes take place in food during processing as well as during storage period. All right. So this is the last one is very applicable to food science to the culinologists here. Once your food recipe is optimal, that is what you have been doing, correct, isn't it? Okay, in the R&D kitchen, you have been trying to get that recipe, okay, the food product recipe to be optimal. You have the best taste, okay, you have the best aroma, you have the best texture, okay. Even after you reheated, you still retain all those characteristics, the flavor, the aroma, the texture, after reheating. Okay, that is your goal. You want to create that. The main concern is the flavor stability. Maintain flavor intensity throughout the processing stages and shelf life of the food product. Okay, so remember that. Not only you are creating the food product with optimal recipe, you must remember this. But maintaining the flavor intensity throughout the processing stages. Okay, which means that during your production, it could be due to also the reheating process. Remember that reheating can be detrimental to your food product, the flavor, yeah. And especially this, the shelf life of the food product. If your shelf life is 1 month, make sure that your flavor is still there for 1 month. If you're 1 year, make sure it's still there. Of course, I wouldn't say that it's 100%. If you can get to 80-90% after 1 year, that is very good. Or maybe 70-80%, that is very, very good already, the flavor. Okay? Because to be honest, I have, for example, the Diet Coke. Okay, the one that I always use as an example, Diet Coke. The flavor, very blunt after the best before date. It still can drink, but the taste is very blunt. Okay, one is that the gas, the CO2, more or less has been permeated from the tin can. Okay, it's possible, yeah, it's possible, yeah, although it doesn't leak, but it's possible because it has stored for a long time. There would be certain, okay, the hole that allow the CO2 to actually get out from the can, yeah. That's why when you open, not much gas. When you taste, too much reaction. Aspartame also will be degraded in the acid condition. Okay, that's why no more taste. Flavor components, okay, inside the Diet Coke, same thing, all degraded by the acid. Okay, because it's already past the best before date. Okay, so maintaining is very, very important. Okay, although it's still safe to drink, okay, but that's after that you won't enjoy that. Yeah, I usually when I buy food products, I will look at the best before date. I want to make sure that the best before date is as far away as possible. Okay, I mean to say that if got the manufacturing production date right, that is better. I will look at that. The closer to the today's date, okay, the day I purchase is even better. Okay, because in that case, right, I know that the flavor will be very, very high. Okay. Okay, another aspect that don't forget, right, is the sensory aspect of the flavor stability. Alright, so sensory stability. What is the standard sample to compare with? Very important to set your storage condition correctly. Okay, that's why in your packaging, make sure that you need to state they store at cool, dry place, store at refrigeration condition, or etc. Okay, that will be your standard sample storage condition to compare with. Alright, not those abuse temperature already one. Okay, what does the consumer expect? And remember, what are the key flavors? What you want. That's why the one of the project that later on Barry's given will be doing, right, is that what do they expect? What you want them to remember? Okay, is it the bubblegum flavor? Okay, when they chew it, it's like, wow, the bubblegum flavor is very strong. Okay, that is give you that kind of like remembering back to their childhood. Okay, bubblegum. Okay, the bubblegum flavor. Okay, so that you need to make sure this key flavor is still there. Alright, so throughout the shelf life and it's in high concentration. How does a customer evaluate the sample? Is it through chewing? Is it through eating? Is it through drinking? Okay, so if for example if it's like chewing, of course, then you need to actually protect the flavor not to release that fast, because they will need chewing. So as you chew, they break down the it could be encapsulated flavor. That when you chew it, you actually mechanically breaking it to release the flavor a bit by a bit. Okay? Instead of like when you chew, all the flavor all release. Then what's the use? Too much. Okay, it's too overwhelming to the customer or consumer. Alright, so you want slowly release it. Okay, drinking. Alright, drinking, what else? You need to drink it fast, drink it slow. Okay, you need to make sure that when you drink, the flavor can interact with your tongue and the aroma come out. That's why you need to release faster. Okay, for example, you open it up, wow, you can smell the aroma, apple smell. Okay, so all this you must think before, then you can target. Okay, you can target the flavor molecule, what to do with it. Okay, so the quality attribute of the food flavor is influenced by these three factors here. The chemical reactivity of the food flavors. Okay, so the reactivity with the food matrix components. Okay, during or after subjected to the food processing conditions. Okay, the chemical reactivities can be during food processing. Okay, or maybe it could be due to after storage and so forth. The food matrix is one of the very important, the most complicated one. Okay, because in the food components, there are proteins, there are fats, there are carbohydrates, there are other metals, there are radicals, and so forth. Okay, so all this can actually influence the generation or the degradation or the reactivity of the flavor molecules. Okay, so it can generate new flavors. Okay, or it can actually absorb and prevent it from releasing the flavor. Okay, like high fat. If the flavor molecule is lipophilic, what happens? Then your flavor is going to trap in your fat. It's not going to release. So at the end, you say, no taste. Okay, protein, fat, they like to interact with a flavor molecule. It cannot be released. Alright? How about the environment of foods? The light, the atmospheric oxygen, and so forth. Okay. Alright. So all these can influence. These three is the one that influence the flavor quality. Alright. So some of the physical and chemical factors affecting the assembly of the flavors, like heat treatment. Alright. Heat treatments, what happens? Heat treatments, they can lead to evaporation of the volatiles. As you cook longer, wow, very nice smell. The moment you want to serve, no taste. Just now I smell so good, but now no taste. What happened? Because everything all released already. Alright? That's why one thing I really like about this, the roti boy, the bread, right, is that you can smell it. Yet, very, very strong, yeah, the real roti boy, yeah. Very, very strong, volatiles, very strong. Oh, coffee bun, very good smell. Then when you buy, you eat, very strong smell as well. Plus, with the butter taste. Okay, not only smell now, when you bite the time, right, you got this buttery taste. Oh, very good. Okay, so all this need to take into consideration. Okay, formation of new flavoring component during heat treatment, generation of the new flavors. As I mentioned, okay, it could be due to the reactivity between the flavor precursors. Okay, or maybe flavor molecules, they react with each other to create new flavor molecules. Okay, as you progress. Oxidation, a high oxygen level concentration will make fat-containing product rancid. Alright, so as this is very true, especially now the consumer are looking for more and more of the healthier choice. People are looking for more of the high polyunsaturated fat in their food products. What happens? If you have oxygen in there, if you make it rancid, at the end, your product will be unacceptable, even though you got high in polyunsaturated fat, but no use. Rancid smell. Okay? I think I have told you guys before. One of the seaweed company, okay, it's a Korean seaweed, okay, Korean seaweed, very, very nice, very tasty. They decided to use olive oil. Okay, they decided to use olive oil. Olive oil is known to be high in polyunsaturated fatty acid. So what happened is that when I open the package, oh, the smell is terrible. I don't feel like eating it. Okay, I would have thought that, maybe it's past the expired date. Alright, when I open it up, it's not even past the expired date, it's long way more. Okay, and the packaging is also the aluminum foil, so no light actually will go into the packaging with the seaweed. I'm wondering what is happening. So possible is that maybe there are low level oxygen in the packaging, maybe. Okay, or maybe the olive oil they used in the first place is already very high secondary or peroxide value already. Okay, if they have already high peroxide value, even though got no rancid smell at the beginning, if they use this, as soon as they put in your product, the rancidity will start to produce because the peroxide value will deteriorate to the secondary or the tertiary product, okay, which give you all the rancid smell. Yeah. Enzyme activity, okay, degradation and formation of new components. Remember, your raw ingredients, there are certain degree of enzymes in there. It could be from the animal base, it can be from plant base. Yeah, the enzyme itself can degrade or it can facilitate the formation of new flavors. Remember that. Low pH. A low pH, as in most beverage, will help acid catalyzed reaction to occur, like hydrolysis of ester in an acid and an alcohol. Okay, or acid catalyzed, remember, like a citral into the P-cymene. Okay, as I mentioned, if you are talking about acidic beverages, okay, like soft drink, which is acidic because of the CO2. Okay, because of that, the acid condition can degrade. That's why I doubt that you can even last for 2 or 3 years, because by then the taste will be very, very blunt. Yeah? But again, there are some ingredients that can withstand the acidic condition better. Okay, I think I have already mentioned that in last lecture. Yeah, fat absorptions, protein reactions. These, if your food is high in these components, which is most of the ready-to-eat food, then you could have a problem with the flavor. Okay, you can either find a flavor components that is that's incompatible. They're not very compatible with them. Okay, or maybe you can have a delivery system that actually release it during heating. So which means that you put your product in there at first, not much smell. When you reheat it, the heat actually breaks the protective coating or the capsule that release the aroma. Okay, got such thing. Okay, got such technology available now. Yeah, it's called flavor releasing technology. So when you're talking about various processing methods, you can actually separate the two methods, thermal or non-thermal. Thermal is the conventional, and because of consumer demand, same thing, because thermal has a very bad bad reputation, because thermal usually destroy nutrients. That's why people nowadays getting more and more research in the non-thermal processing technology. Thermal processing is like canning, okay, in container sterilizations, aseptic processing and packaging, rapid heating and cooling, pasteurizations, sterilizations, okay, and also various form of cooking in the kitchens. Okay, all these are the thermal. The thermal processing is one of the safest and has been used thousands of years since ancient time. Okay, so this one is to be here to stay. Yeah, non-thermal is very promising. Still a lot of research going on, but one thing about it, right, is the cost. The cost for non-thermal processing at the moment is very high. Okay, because of the equipment needed and the processing equipment needed. Yeah, you can have high pressure processing, pulse electric field, ohmic heating, okay, ultrafiltration, evaluation, so forth. Yeah, some of this is very expensive. The second problem with this, right, is that the output is very low. But don't worry, as the research and the technology advances, this is getting more and more likely. Yeah? From 10 years ago and compared to now, more and more people are using this. Okay, the cost is getting lower as well. Alright. So when you're talking about thermal treatments, there are several reactions induced by heat, which includes caramelization, Maillard reactions, which help in flavor developments. During processing, volatiles takes place, which is a loss of flavors, as many flavor substances have a lower boiling points compared to other ingredients of the product. Volatilization reduces overall flavor impact. You can make the overall flavor system off balance here. Okay, so as I mentioned this one before, you smell, oh, very good, but when you eat, hey, how come? No aroma, no taste. Okay. In the presence of heat, other ingredients that interact with flavor components affect the product taste and aroma. So you just need to take into consideration this here during your product development. Effect caused by thermal processing, for example, in the milk, okay, normally an increase in the reaction, kinetic acceleration, loss of flavor components. Okay, remember, heat is always increasing the kinetic energy of the molecule. That can translate to increasing the reaction reactivity, yeah, because of increase in kinetic. So cooked, heated or burned and stale flavor of milk is due to ketones formation, yeah. So nowadays, some of the products, you can actually smell the burnt smell, yeah. This is very true, especially for the coconut beverage that you can buy. So far, those that I have tasted, again, I'm not sure whether is it all or what. So far, those that I have tasted, right, they taste burnt. Okay, the packaged coconut drink. Okay, the best one is still the raw coconut. Yeah. Okay, come back to the milk. Buttery, milky, coconut flavor in milk are due to the lactones formation from thermal breakdown of hydroxy acid. Okay, not necessarily it's bad. There sometimes you can create some other additional flavors here from the heating. Okay, furan derived form when casing is undergo browning reaction with fructose at temperature more than 90 degrees Celsius. Acetal and acetonins give off flavors to milk which has been heated above 90 degrees Celsius. Okay. Chemical and rancid flavor increases in milk because increased amount of butyric and the hexanoic acid, butyric, very smelly one, yeah, when milk is treated above 100 degrees Celsius. That's why some group of people, right, they rather drink it like raw. Okay, but that is very dangerous because the way the milk was being taken, right, it could lead to some other bacterial problems here. Okay, especially for kids here. Do not feed them with unpasteurized milk because a lot of incidents happened before. Okay, so it's best to have if you do not want the high heat one, okay, which is the ultra high heat temperature sterilization. Okay, you can use the pasteurization. Pasteurization usually they need to store in the fridge, and the flavor not too bad. Yeah, quite good. Hydrogen sulfate give cooked flavor to milk, and the intensity linearly correspond to the intensity of heating. Yeah, okay. So more hydrogen sulfide is those cooked smell. Yeah, okay. So you can see that the thermal has some impact on the milk. Okay. So the thermal, that's why people has been looking more and more of using the non-thermal way. Okay. Non-thermal, like for example, you can use like high pressure processing and so forth. Yeah. For milk is possible. Yeah. Because high pressure processing is liquid is possible. Yeah. Alright. So you can do that. You can do that to retain the flavors. That's why people has been using the apple juice. Okay. I think I have shown you guys before. They produce the apple juice. Conventionally, you require the heat sterilization, okay, if you want to store it for long term, okay. And the apple flavor is not as rich because of the heat destroy some of the apple flavor, and you can also create some of the burnt flavor as well. Okay, nutrient value of course is drop as well. So what happened, right, is that they actually use they harvest it, they press it down, directly fill in the bottle, okay, and the apple juice in the bottle directly put into the high pressure processing, and process it, the flavor is awesome. Okay, I drank it before. The flavor is very good, very rich apple flavor, just like you freshly the blended, okay, or on the fruit machine, okay. The apple juice you get from the fruit machine, yeah, okay, fruit juice machine, okay, directly. It tastes very good, yeah. Let's look at some of the non-thermal processing. Not necessarily is good in some circumstances, okay, depending on what kind of non-thermal processing. For example, if you're looking at irradiations can actually reduce some of the pungent smell from the garlic. Ginger, although no immediate immediate changes to the volatile compound, but after 3 months, there are some of the volatile compounds were reduced here. Okay, so irradiation not good. Irradiation actually good for those loose items here, like the what's it called, the spices and things which is difficult to be treated with other ways here. So irradiation at the moment is best for all this here. High intensity pulse electric field. Again, this is very new technologies. You can see that using the PF process the tomato juice, it can retain most of the flavor components. Very good. Okay, and they also reduce the non-enzymatic brownings. Okay, and leading to a higher redness than thermal processing or control juice. Yeah. Okay, because tomato juice, of course, the more red the better, right? Okay, and dull red, it's like something is wrong with the fruit juice, with the tomato juice. Yeah. So you can see the high intensity pulse electric field seems to work very well with these the flavors, the stability of the flavors in there. Okay, so it really depending on what kind of things you are working on there. Okay, when looking at the packaging material, you need to take into consideration as well, because the packaging material may interact with the flavor constitute, which could cause the loss of desirable food flavors. The worst is the absorption of undesirable off flavor from the component of the packaging. So you taste sometimes, how come tastes like plastic? This is very true, yeah. It's very true if you are wrapping with some of the food wrap, yeah, the plastic food wrap, yeah. So you're thinking, how come your food, right, tastes like plastic? Okay, so you need to take into consideration all this, yeah. Okay, especially when your food is stored for long term. Okay, you need to find for the packaging material that can withstand reaction, as well as it doesn't give off flavors. All right. Okay, some of the small things as well, like printing ink residues, adhesive, all this can come into play that affects the flavor stability. Alright. Storage condition. Different storage condition of the product also affect the flavor stability, as some ingredients can be temperature sensitive. If the food product is not stored properly, it might affect its overall flavor perception of the product. To avoid that, proper storage conditions should be always mentioned on the packaging. Okay, very important. I still see some of the packaging material, right, doesn't have a proper indication of the storage. It didn't really say properly. Okay, at the end, who to blame when the product is gone? Okay, so it's become very tricky here. Okay, give you some of the examples, like for example, the effect of packaging on the flavor stability of the beer. Okay, in the beer, there is what we call a sunstruck flavor. Okay, these additional flavors, I don't know how to describe because I don't drink beer. Okay, I don't drink alcoholic drink at all. Okay, so they have this one we call the sunstruck flavor. Okay, due to this component 3-methyl 2-protein 1-thiol. Okay, supposedly this sunstruck flavor is undesirable. Okay, undesirable, and this flavor is being produced because of the light. Okay, when the light sort of like when the product, the beer, is exposed to light, then this flavor will form. So the proposed pathway for 3-MBT formation. Okay, so MBT is 3-methyl 2-protein 1-thiol. Okay, Derived isomers are decomposed into 3 radicals due to sunlight exposure. Sulfur contain amino acids, and the proteins decompose to SH radicals. Alright, through riboflavin photosynthesis reaction. These two radical types then combine and form the 3-MBT. Alright, so these products are being produced because of the light, exposure to light. Although glass bottles are usually impermeable for oxygen, plastic bottles have the advantage of being light and unbreakable. Okay, however, the oxygen permeability is much higher for plastic bottle. So some people, right, for the glass bottle, for the beer companies, they rather use the glass bottle. Okay, glass bottle, one thing is that the glass is quite inert, okay, doesn't react with your product. Secondly is because it's impermeable to oxygen. Okay, because oxygen can also cause a problem. Plastic bottles have the advantage of being light and unbreakable, so they're very light, not breakable, but its oxygen permeable is much higher. Alright, but for plastic, it's possible to make it translucent. Okay, so less light exposure. But for glass bottle, most of the beer company prefer that because you can actually see the color of the beer. Okay, alright, so the glass is still required in the products here. So what happened with this the beer flavor, right, is that okay, you can have a thin the glass bottle. Okay, secondly is that you can actually what we call the put that in the storage condition, so which means that the beer are put into the container or what that is not light permeable. During consumption only you take it out. Okay, so that can be one of the solution. Yeah. Okay, secondly, let's look at the oxidation of the citral. The oxidation of the lipids or fats leads to development of off-flavor input products such as extruded products, processed meat products. Development of these undesirable flavors destabilize the original flavor of the products here. These changes mostly occur during long storage period of food products. Some citral flavors get degraded due to oxidation. Low pH condition leads to degradation reactions of many citrus compounds here. Okay, so the citrus compound, citral flavor, okay, can get degraded due to oxidation level and due to oxidation and also low pH. So these two can have detrimental to the taste here. So the reactivity and stability of citral 3,7-dimethyl-2,6-octadienyl, okay, is the most important flavor compound in citrus oil. Okay, because citral is an unsaturated aldehyde, is highly susceptible to acid catalyzed cyclizations and oxidation degradations, particularly in the presence of light and heat, leading to the off-flavor formations. Okay, so what should you do? Light. Okay, your packaging need to be translucent possible. Okay, to avoid light from going in. Sometimes, right, sometimes not only light, you can tint it in such a way that it can actually screen you some of the UV light and so forth here. Okay. The degradation, I will introduce some other ways as well for this later on. Yeah. The degradation process of citral under acidic condition is accelerated by high temperature, light, and availability of oxygens. Packaging is very important, as I mentioned. Okay, both unstable monoterpenes, okay, alcohol can be deteriorated with disproportional and redox reaction under acidic conditions, and more stable aromatic compounds have been obtained in the presence of absence of oxygens. Okay, another author, 204, yeah, in 204 found that these molecules form the oxidation product of citral, leading to off flavors in addition to the p-dimethylstyrene, okay, thiamine, and so forth here. Okay, so against oxidations citrus flavor, okay, can lead to some off flavors. So you need to find a way to protect these flavor molecules. Okay, so this comes to the next section that I want to introduce you. How you enhance the stability of flavors. The most common one what we have to introduce use is use the micro encapsulations. Okay, incorporation various flavor releasing technology such as micro encapsulation and granulation to protect the flavor. So micro encapsulation and granulation usually, right, through physical chewing and so forth, okay, you actually will release the flavor. Alright, it can release the flavor. Heat sometimes can also break the microcapsules and release the flavor as well. So it really depending on how you design it, when you want to release it, okay, and choose a proper technique or the the capsule, okay, choose a correct capsule that actually will lead to the release, okay, at your condition. Okay, so there are different capsule materials that you can find to actually release at a specific condition that you require. Yeah. So to avoid the run of the rancid off flavors in the fat-rich products, and antioxidant may help to retard the rancidity in the products. You also can add antioxidant as well. Moisture barrier is included in packaging material to arrest moisture. We can incorporate aroma barrier in packaging to help retain aroma and flavor in food to prevent absorption of unwanted aroma into the food. So sometimes, right, last time I remember one of the competition, right, they say that, oh man, don't put the some of the spices product with our what is it called, the dessert, because the dessert may absorb whatever aroma from your product. Okay, so that is legit as well. So you need to have a packaging that actually stop things from absorbing into your package. Okay, not only that, the package will retain whatever flavor molecule inside. So the moment you open the package, oh, all the aroma come out from your flavor. Okay, so you should think of that as well. Yeah. Heat stable ingredient in flavor preparation, the addition of different solvents or flavor ingredient carriers also help to maintain the flavor stability. We mentioned that in the later chapter. Yeah. Okay. Enhancing the stability of flavors, the micro encapsulations. Okay, micro encapsulation usually you will need to create a simple emulsion, then spray dry it. Yeah, some of the most conventional, the most common practice is create emulsion. From emulsion, the emulsion, what we call the interface, the emulsifier that you use it to create, that will form what we call the capsule. Okay, one of the ways here. Okay, and then using that, you spray dry it, and then you get an encapsulated flavor. The affinity of the flavor component with the food matrix is extremely important because it will affect the flavor delivery process. As a result of encapsulation, the rate of flavor release is reduced, and it's possible to control flavor intensity and qualities of the food. Okay, the encapsulation process should be done prior to use in food or beverages in order to protect food flavorings, limiting aroma degradation or loss during processing or storage. That is very, very true for this. Yeah. Okay, to protect until being consumed. Okay, as I mentioned, during consumptions, you can the mechanical chewing, right, actually can break the capsule and release the flavor. Okay, if you need to be heated before you consume, the heating process can actually break the capsule as well. However, it will influence the overall acceptance by the consumers here. Okay, so encapsulation of flavors. Okay, increase shelf life of the flavors, minimize flavor interactions. If you have two flavors that is always giving you a problem, they interact, they react. So you get one of the flavors to actually encapsulate it so they don't react. Okay, guard against light-induced reaction and oxidations. Okay, so this one can be one of the solution to what I mentioned just now. Okay, use the encapsulation to protect the citrus oil. Okay, so that it can protect against the light as well as oxidation. Protect from undesirable interaction with food. Yeah. So it can protect from because the food, as I say, is get more and more complicated as as your recipe is getting more complicated. Yeah, especially your recipe is high in protein and fats. Then you can use this to develop the flavors. You always remember, right before that, I'd say what they want the consumer to experience. If you say that I need to have this flavor, no matter what, need to have them to remember this flavor, then you need to protect this flavor. Don't to say that, oh, sir, then which means that I need to have a lot of components to be encapsulated, okay, flavor molecule and as well. There's no. Get the main flavor molecules that you want the consumer to experience encapsulated and protect it. Either you want to protect it against degradation or you want to have a release of the flavor at a particular condition that you require. Okay? Protection from evaporation and chemical deteriorations. Okay? So during the heating process, it may not actually break it yet or release the flavor. Okay? It can after heating, then the capsule actually break, then release the flavor. So it actually indirectly protected the flavor molecule. Okay, allow a controlled release. So all these are the advantages of encapsulation of flavors. Okay, the last two slides, you can actually add antioxidant like galatanins is used to improve the flavor stability of beer. Okay, other than the packaging that I mentioned to you, you actually can use this galatanins. You add into the beer, okay, and together with the metabisulfite of the potassium and ascorbic acid, develop an antioxidant SBT, which is most effective on improving the flavor in beer, okay, and stop the sunstroke flavor from forming here. Okay, last but not least, for the citral, okay, other than the packaging, you can also add plant extract, for example, like grape seed, pomegranate seed, green tea, and black tea. Okay, review the inhibitory effect on citral off flavor formations. So you can actually add the extract, and you can actually claim in your packaging and say that, oh, you have added all this extract, and what are the benefits, okay, or maybe your beverage you purposely put it green tea as one of your solvent, okay, then that will also protect your citral flavor. Okay, so all these come into play. Yeah, all these come into play. Okay, depending on how you want to design it, look at the ingredient. Okay, that's why in your one of your the assignment, right, is that look at the ingredients. Okay, what ingredient is the most the important? Okay, if it's important, is there any other ingredients that actually can affect the stability of these ingredients? If yes, what are the things you can actually protect? If it's light that causing it, maybe you have to change the what we call the packaging material. You say no, I need people to see my product, okay, to give some kind of sensation. Then in that case, you need to find some other ingredient, okay, that can help to protect the flavor molecule, like in this case, using a plant extract. Okay, so please look at all these things, okay, and I think you will have a very good the project, okay, to do. Okay, this helps you with the understanding as well as stability. Okay, so all these things I will be looking at to give you the marks. Yeah. Okay, before I end, so this one will be for week 9 and week 10. Okay, if you got question, please ask question in the Padlet. If you got no questions, please indicate no question. Okay, all right, thank you very much.